Yo, what's up guys? Give me 1 sec, I'm trying to set up all my pages so I can see the chat. There you go. Alright. Alright, we're gonna do that survey now. This game is too fun. Yeah, I'm a bit sad that we're gonna have to wait months now before playing it again. Alright, now select from software title you've played: Armored Core, Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Armored Core, Night Rain. Is there another from software game other than Armored Core and Souls? I don't think so. Guess I don't play shooting games anymore. Maybe other, but other as well. How many hours total? I played all the network tests. By the way, what's up, guys? I'm gonna read chat also while doing that. This is just like to have something in the background while people join. Honestly, this game is so much fun, man. They need to do something about the item menu for sure. Yeah, it's definitely not the most intuitive. What would you rate the PvP out of 10? I think I would rate it an 8 out of 10. Yo, Cleve, how you doing, bro? Hope you're doing well, man. Go. Not right now? Oh, okay. TV mode. Why did you play the network test? Because I like From Software games. Because it was a hot topic on social media, dude. Some of these responses are funny. Yo, Marvin, how you doing, man? Please share your impressions of playing the network test. I think it was very fun. I think I was finding it fun right from the beginning. Okay, any feedback regarding the overall gameplay? The overall gameplay, I mean, it's so vast. There's a lot we could talk about. That we're getting a whole console over, honestly, it depends. Like, some people really like it, and like, you know, like, I started the network test, like the very first one. I was in a party with Nash, with Gabri, and Castle, and all three of them eventually dropped and just didn't like the game. So it's not for everyone. Why are you bothering with this? Because it's better than Elden Ring. Feedback for the gameplay. Most fun part of the game was the last phase where let's put last PvP phase. Dude, at the end, I actually clutched a dude, my last match was my last match didn't finish because the network test ended, but the match right before that actually was queuing for twos, and my teammate fucking dropped, and I actually managed to clutch the 1v2 at the end. I was so happy. Yeah, Gabri liked it initially, and then he didn't like it. Or do you do the survey? Well, on the same page that you got the code. Is there proper spacing and punishing? Absolutely there is, yeah. It's just that there's a lot more forward momentum. But yeah, there's absolutely spacing and punish. You got ganked by 2 snipers in your last match? It's alright, Maya. We're gonna beat their ass together in the full game. We're gonna queue for twos and be unstoppable. Let me read some of that YouTube as well. Theory on why From Software games are almost always locked to 60 FPS. I thought it had something to do with netcode and server tick rate, etc. I don't know, man. I have no idea. I mean, like Armored Core 6 was 120 FPS, so I don't think it's any like specific limitation. It's probably like it depends on the project. I hope they had more weapons and outfit for each character. 100%, dude. Definitely, I agree with that for sure. Luckily, luckily I've skipped several mainline Fire Emblem games and have craving, so getting a Switch 2 and Fortune Weave and Duskblood. Yeah, if you plan on, getting a Switch 2 for other games and and you already plan to have it or you already have it, I think Duskblood is definitely worth a shot for sure. This game is in a live service. It's just going to be Night Train 2.0. Duskblood has to be a live service. DLC will not fix the game. I don't know. I don't think there's really a need to fix like anything major. Like the game is pretty fun from what I've tried. As people get better, I'm sure we're going to find issues, but will likely be a pseudo live service. I mean, we can't really tell. FromSoft has never really gone that route, but you never know. Gotta figure out how to deal with 2 guys with a pea shooter. Honestly, my go-to strat for the last phase, like I do the exact opposite of what everyone is trying to do. Like I bomb rush people. Like I just put insane amount of pressure with melee on people. Like right from the get-go, I jump on someone and try to kill them as fast as possible. And then after I kill them, I try to back up, heal up, and then I try to go after that same person after they spawn. Even if I die once, like at least I have 1 life, but I can get the 1v1 at the end with the other person. So I legitimately like ignore one guy and just try to gang rush just one person. That was my strategy for the most part. It worked very well, honestly. I think it would have been better if they made a point system that allows you to create your own character with certain amount of points. Maybe, I mean, it's hard to tell. Imagine if a Fight Club mode where you get to pick a zone, 8-player free-for-all. Yeah, I think this is what this game needs, because the PvP part is fun, but there's a lot of running around in between. Like, I'd love if it was just the PvP, because that's the most fun part about it. You got 3 wins in a row with Dinosaur Guys. Super fun. The only part you didn't like was having to fight Jan. I hate that character. Yeah, Jan was pretty annoying to fight. I think the dodge for Jan is a little bit too over the top. Like, it's a drag to kill him. Like, he has, like, way more dodge than the others. I understand that his weapon is, it compensates for not being as strong, but it's definitely annoying to fight. I agree with that. What do we think is the strongest character? Honestly, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because, at the very beginning, I thought maybe the sniper lady is the strongest. But I'm not sure. Like, I've had a lot of success with every character, and I feel like... man, like, every single character has something going for it. It's hard to say, really. And you know, like the strongest thing about each character is available to every single one of them. Like I felt like my favorite character was Albert, and I felt like Albert was so well rounded that, like, you know, if you were fighting a skilled player, I felt like Albert was the most dangerous one, because the, you know, his machine gun is pretty much impossible to avoid. The range, like, he has the best ability, like the blood, you know, the blood attack can punish pretty much anything. It's extremely strong. Then you have the laser to take out the kin. It's a very, very full kit, and then his melee moveset is very strong and does a ton of damage. He has like really good running attacks, can pressure a lot. So honestly, like the more I played with Albert, the more I felt like it was like the highest skill ceiling one. You still think Trang Lang to be the weakest? From what I've played, I thought like that's the character I struggled the most with. Mainly because the weapon for the donut lady is just too short, and I was finding myself missing a lot. I was extremely dominant with the rapier guy, you know, the dinosaur senator. Like his rapier is just so freaking powerful. I would smoke people right from the get-go. And the sniper lady I found like to be like the easiest to play with against PvE and in general. Like it's very easy to pick off people. I mean, it is the squishier though. Like it's not the strongest in melee. I think even if she has like Qatar, it's. I mean, the sniper is super strong. I do think that the reload for the sniper rate lady might be, you know, a little too fast though. The most fun part about the game was the last PvP phase where it was either 1v1 or 2v2. I wish there was a mode where we could skip the PvE and only do PvP. Let me keep on reading. I know that's a test and this isn't the full game, so I know there's going to be more stuff in the full game, but lowest point that I've seen in this game is the replayability. Yeah, same here. I think we can mention that in the gameplay feedback. How should we put it? Is that how you spell Layla for the game character? It's the overall gameplay though. I'm sure there's going to be a section to specify that. I think learning rote and optimizing is a lot of fun. It's fun for a while, but I prefer the PvP. I also had a ton of success with Zork too. Like with Zork, I was very dominant with it too. And I was very dominant with the sniper lady, with Zork, with the senator, with Albert. And then Jan, I only played, I think, one game or maybe two, I don't know. I think I played like one game with Jan and won it, and then I didn't touch him again. Or maybe two, I forgot, honestly. Let's see here. I'm not that good at Duskblood. Almost all my wins were Trang. Invisibility plus surprise sneak was powerful in the final phase. That's interesting. I'm glad you found it useful. A rapier can catch people from so far. Yeah, the rapier felt like the strongest melee weapon to me. Like, Melee sniper is super strong in PvP and PvE. It's kind of scary. Yeah, I think they need to nerf the reload time for the sniper and maybe like the shot interval. Like she can shoot like too fast. I don't think it's worth like nerfing the sniper itself, but maybe the speed at which she can shoot and the reload. Especially the reload, because you want to be able to have a window to punish it. Because she's already more mobile than everyone else. Maybe except Jan. What would you say is the power gap between classes currently? Big, medium, or small? Oh, definitely small. Um, the class, I feel like I could win against anyone, no matter which character I was using. I played every single one of them and won with every single one of them multiple times for most, except like Jan and Tran. I didn't play Jan as much, and Tran actually struggled to get my first win, and I didn't play her after that. Because the weapon I felt was just too short for how I was playing, because I'm very, very aggressive, and she's more like a sneaky type character where you probably want to take your time a little more. You can remove the PvP, the PvE and give me Murky. Wasn't there some early info revealed a way back saying that the full game you would unlock the ability to tweak your starting loadout, weapon, character, fleshed out, and lore? See, like, I've had conflicting info on that. Oro, who actually went there, you know, to the FromSoft HQ to test the game first, he said that you cannot change the weapon on the classes. But people have been saying that it's been confirmed that you can, but I can't actually find the source. And Oro, who actually went there, said that you can't, so getting conflicting info here. Since I saw people complain, did you see that there's a setting to enable walking and running while the map is open? There's a setting for that? That's crazy. I didn't see that. It's the Terra between Rapier and the Ring. Hell no, dude. The Rapier is way stronger. I disagree there. Like, the Rapier is way stronger than the Ring. It's not even close. Dude, you should... Man, I wish I could share some of my footage. Like, I had, like, my very first round with the Senator. Like, at the very end, I killed everyone twice in, like, under a minute with Senator. He just completely destroys people. They can't get away from him. It was just a complete wash. Like, Senator was just so powerful. Okay, we're gonna come back to the feedback here. Select up to 3 of your favorite things about the network test. We're gonna take player character control. Take other. Fighting against other players. There you go. Fighting against other players. Please share your any feedback regarding this. Okay, I think this is where we put the invite a friend for duels in the courtyard. Okay. So I wish there was a mode where we could skip the PvE and only do PvP, or let's say and only play PvP. Oops, only play PvP. There's not enough PvP in the game. I also wish we could have a dedicated duel mode or have the ability to invite a friend for duels in the courtyard. Okay, let's put that. And keep on reading chat. Threw people off the map with Dino. Yeah, did that too. It's pretty funny. What did you think of the stam usage for aggression versus defense? Honestly, I felt like the stamina was well balanced. And the only problem with the stam, well, actually, the only problem is really the stagger once you're getting outnumbered. If you're getting outnumbered, the stagger really plays against you. You think they'll read your feedback and think it's that fucking guy? I don't think they're gonna read any feedback. What I think they're gonna do is I think they're gonna feed these response into an AI model and they're gonna ask it to you know, to give like what were the most common or popular team amongst players. Like if there's a lot of players that say more they like the PvP or they want a more PvP, then they're gonna consider that. So I think it's gonna be like probably fed into an AI and just like summarized. The game setting, let's say unsatisfied. I wish there was just more PvP. Okay, the graphics. Honestly, very satisfied with the graphics. Here you go. Beautiful game. Okay, I'm not gonna write that. Especially for the bad hardware. It's like a passive aggressive comment. My Nintendo Online finally ended mid finale. You get sent back to the menu and couldn't log back. Wow, that's... I remember PlayStation, if you run out, like they still wait for you to finish your play session. It looks good for what you're capable of. Is it like which of the tutorial you felt easy to understand? Yeah, boy. Let's put the first one. Too many things to read, and it was complicated to understand without reading. Yo, Firekeeper, thanks for the tier 3 resub for 27, man. Welcome back. Okay, yeah. Just put it there. Basic character controls, I think they were good. They let you customize it too. Okay, the controls felt very good. I was happy that I could customize my button layout. Albert, it was my favorite character. It was my favorite character. He was also the only good-looking character. Gameplay-wise... Yo, Dudley, thanks for the raid, bro. Welcome in, guys. I'm filling in the survey. What's up, Zorks? Welcome back. Albert main, but not by choice, to be honest, though, even though it's the only good-looking character. I also think it's the most fun gameplay-wise, because you get, like, a very balanced kit with Albert. I feel like you have, like, way more skill expression with Albert than any of the other ones, because you can use his blood skill in a lot of situations. It's basically, like, an integral part of your arsenal when you're fighting people. Like, you can throw it out to punish a ton of things. It's like better in every way than a lot of range attacks for the other characters, and the machine gun like sort of fills like another role entirely than the range attack for the other characters. Like, for instance, let's say the Senator, right? The Senator range attack, like, he throws like an eagle spirit. That eagle spirit does decent damage, not too much, but like the blood skill sort of replaces that ability, but it's just better because it can combo into itself. It reaches the target faster, and you still get access to the machine gun, which is pretty much unavoidable when people are low HP. So it's just very, very strong. Albert is basically Reduvia L2. It's stronger than that. It's definitely stronger than that. 2v2 is much better than 1v1. Yeah, I agree. I think so too. Like today or tonight, it was my first time playing the 2v2. My first match, we completely destroyed the opposition. We had like over 250 points, and the other, or Virtue, and then the other people had like 100, and then we just smoked them in the final round. It was actually pretty fun though. I liked it. Control's so smooth because of a dodge on press. Oh yeah, that's important to mention that. The dodge on press is a significant improvement over the dodge on release from previous Souls titles. Do you think making a duel for solo at the end would be better than 1v1v1? I want to say personally yes, but on the other hand, I feel like duels, like, you know, if the end was a duels, like less experienced players or less PvP focused players would have no chance of victory, where right now they have a good chance of victory if they play smart. Like, if they routed, like, if they played the game like to that point and they maxed out their summon, their kin, and they play smart and double team people, and their kin is very strong, they can get carried to victory by sort of strategy, so to speak. So it gives like a chance for anyone to win, which is not something I personally really like. I prefer when the better player always wins. But on the other hand, like, if the trade-off is that the game has more longevity because more players enjoy it, I think it's a trade-off that's worthwhile. That's how I feel about it. I think, though, we need 1v1, but maybe separate. That's what I think. The other solution would also be to make the 1v1v1 a timer-based mode where the player with the highest amount of kill wins. So that would get rid of the passivity as well. That's another, you know, if it was like a 5-minute mini deathmatch, it would be very different than, you know, than the, like, common strat of, like, people trying to be passive. Like, a lot of skill doesn't work in 1v1. Yeah, that's a very good point. Like, it would limit a lot more characters, whereas like Trang Lang, for instance, right? Like the skill are not the best in 1v1 unless she has time to go for it. And it's this the 1v1v1 setting or the 2v2 setting where there's some distraction that allows her to use it. So you're absolutely right. I don't think the game was designed for 1v1, which is why I think you should have the ability to 1v1, but it shouldn't be like a I think what would be there to like what we should have is just something very simple, like you just get to fight players in the courtyard, you know, like just to play. Like if you just want to fight another person just to test things, just to play the PvP, you should be able to do that without all the fluff that's in there, you know. It doesn't need to be giving you any reward or any point, really just having the ability to play another player directly. That's what I think. Let me go back and read. You don't understand the beauty of whacking people with an axe while wearing pajama? Yeah, Miyazaki probably thinks so. And From Software finally discovers sprint button after 20 years. Seems like it, but Night Train was like that too, though. Actually, no, that's not true. The dodge for Night Train was different. I forgot, dude. I haven't played in a while. Dudley would be able to answer that. I hate you can't hold normal run after R1. That's the only downside. I don't mind it. I'm so used to Elden Ring and crouching that I don't mind like just clicking the joystick after I do attacks. Full game would be nice with actual communication. Yeah, 100%. I think it's going to be quite competitive if you have two players that can communicate for sure. I need to add a gulag for a wildcard player. Yeah, maybe something like that. I don't know. It's definitely frustrating if you, let's say that, you know, you do your usual run and it's just, you get nothing. Like the RNG is just against you, and then it made you sort of waste your time because you didn't do anything wrong or bad, and then you got cold. You know, that happened to me a few times. Like I played very well. Like one game, it was really sad. Like I did my whole run like perfectly, never encountered anyone. The lobby was full. I even grabbed like 2 data posts at the, or data point, whatever I call them, data point, but like I forgot what they're called, but you know, like the the little yellow circles. And I never saw anyone. Like, you know, there's supposed to be players like fighting in the PvP zone. I couldn't find anyone, and I basically got called, and I could not find a single person for the whole match. It was very sad. And so like sometimes you get like such bad RNG that, you know, you can't really do anything against that. Sure, there will be a 1v1 mode. Duskblood is literally Kirby Air Rider, but Souls Combat. I'm not so sure. I think it's worth mentioning it though. Yo, Castle, you were snoring again? Castle, what did you like and what did you dislike about Duskblood? Yo, Frosty, dude, I love this game too, man. I'm actually so disappointed that I'll have to go back to Elden Ring. I would just play this like for hours on end. Like these sessions are 4 hours, and I think if it wasn't like 4 hours, dude, I would just keep on playing over and over. It's very addictive, I'll say that. It's I'd even say it's dangerous, as time flies. But yeah, dude, I am like actually wasted. The whole like network test like had me basically like eat and sleep and make script for vids, you know, edit the vids or record the vids, edit the vids, then make the thumbnail, upload them, and then, you know, like basically sleep in between the sessions. Like one of the session I slept like 1 hour between the sessions, so like I'm like in this weird mode where I'm very, very tired, but I had a ton of fun. But I'm happy that, you know, the sessions are over, because it's very difficult to play all the sessions. I hope the release is not too far, honestly, because it's really fun. Okay, Castle said, not gonna lie, I thought it was pretty awful. I talked a lot with Gabri about it. It's not for us unless they add a PvP mode. Honestly, Castle, you should write that down in the survey. That's important. Yeah, it's funny because Frosty, I basically played the network test with Gabri, Nash, and Castle, like in a voice chat. And then at the very start, like, first of all, I came into this like as skeptical as one can be. Like, I had like a very negative outlook, and then I was almost certain that the game was going to be bad. But the moment I picked up the controls and the moment I saw the game, I was like, okay, like, you know, the controls feels very nice. It seems very fluid. I like the movement, the dynamic. And then, you know, I thought the game looked beautiful, and I thought it ran well too at my first impressions. And the more I played, the more I was like, holy shit, like, it's not that whole, like, yes, it's very anime, but at the same time, like, the fundamentals are absolutely still there. Like, you can absolutely outspace and punish people if they whiff, like, 100%. And roll catching is even easier than the other games. So I was like, you know what? Like, the fundamentals there are actually, like, really good. I really enjoy it. But as time went by, like, Castle, like, Nash didn't like it, like, very early on. He felt like it was too over the top, I think. And then Castle and Gabri were very disappointed for the lack of PvP. Like, they wanted just to play the PvP and didn't like the PvE pretty much. Would be awesome to VC and have a discussion about Duskblood. Yeah, sure, dude. We can even make a vid about it. I'm sure people would love to hear your opinion. You know, give you the exposure for that. I'm sure you have a lot of good things to say about it. Yeah, the summon things suck. Yeah, like, Castle didn't like the summon things. Gabri either. Like, basically a lot of the purist duelists didn't like the game because it didn't have like anything dedicated PvP. So that's definitely something I've noticed with Nash, Castle, and Gabri. I still like the game though. Like, like, I feel like my taste is a little bit wider, and I like more things in Souls than they do, and I do more activities than them. But like, you know, some people ask me, like, is it worth getting a Switch 2 for this game? And it's very hard to answer that because, like, a lot of these PvP guys, they don't like it, like a lot of people I know. And then on the other hand, a lot of other PvP guys that are more like into a lot of different things, they really like it. So I get like the two extremes. So it's not for everyone, but I really like it. But if you ask me if the game is skillful, it absolutely is. It's very skillful. All the fundamentals are there. It doesn't play like Armored Core. It's not like Granddad PvP like AC6. It's just very good. I think Cleve, you know, like, I think you would like it, Cleve, because I think you like a lot of different things. Like, you enjoyed Night Rain. You know, you like different game modes in PvP. You don't just do duels. Genuinely, for you, Duskblood has some of the most intelligent and competent design you've seen in gaming, not to mention the combat design, some of the highest skill expression you've seen. I don't know about highest skill expression. I feel like there's a few things that I mean, to be fair, like, I played all the network tests. I'm sure you did too. I still feel like I have so much to learn about it. So I'm very excited with the prospect of like learning new things, but I feel like it's too early for me to say like if it's the most skillful game ever because I have not mastered it. I feel like I have to master the game in some capacity to be able to say that. That's just me though. Because, like, you know, like, I played like at a championship level like Rainbow Six Vegas 2 with Major League Gaming tournaments, and that's like an actual competitive game. Like, you know, with like some of the people I played against, like, I won like thousands of dollar tournaments and shit, and I felt like that was extremely competitive. I'm not so sure that the game holds up against like the Rainbow Six game I played for 8 years, for instance, in a competitive sense. But in terms of fun, I have not had that much fun with a game in a long time. Like, in quite some time. Like, Duskblood is so much fun, and I've not had that fun in such a long time. Like, I've been so jaded with games recently And finally, I get something that I enjoy after all these years. Like, I'm so happy about that. Can you aggress enemies hard, or is it going to be more reactive, dependent on enemy whiffing and then punishing? That's a good question. So I was extremely dominant with like brain dead, like massive aggression. Maybe not brain dead, but I was extremely aggressive and it was working out very well. Although not many people utilize the parry mechanic right, and the parry mechanic and the shield seems very strong. It could be a problem. Again, the thing is, like, I didn't get the PvP as much as I would have liked, like in general, because the build up for each game is so long that you only get the PvP a little bit, and then depending on, like, you know, on the run and your opposition, sometimes you just smoke people and you don't really have time to try anything. So like there was like a few individuals where I was like, they countered me with shields. Like it happened like a few times, and I would have been curious to try different things to see, like, you know, is there like a counter to this? I didn't have time to experiment, basically. So I mean, it's fine. Like, it's the network test, but there's definitely a lot of things I want to try. But like, for instance, if we had a 1v1 mode, or like some sort of fight club, like I would have been able to get in there with Gabriel Castle, and I would have been able to answer all these questions, you know, because we would have been able to test everything. Like, it would have been way easier and way quicker to figure out the game if we could 1v1. I think the shield has durability instead of consuming stam on block. Very strong and consistent. Yeah, maybe the shield might be overpowered, but at the same time, like, the shield is absolutely necessary for a lot of things. Maybe a short cooldown on the parry would be good. Yeah, I definitely think the parry needs a cooldown, because you can definitely spam it. And I say that, like, on this particular session of the network test, I spammed that parry against PvE. Like, I would basically, like, all the big mobs, you know, like the big dudes, I'd basically like eat their blood, all of them, and so I'd get like an army of those, and then I'd leave the air and they would just kill the small mobs for me. And I was able to like parry them by spamming it too, so it was kind of dirty. It didn't really require skill or timing, you could just spam it. So I think that parry definitely needs to be more punishing when you miss it. That's definitely one thing I've noticed in that last session. The sheer amount of option that the player character has in Duskblood is unreal. It's wild to manage and think about on the fly and the heat of the match. Yeah, that's for sure. The fact that you have two abilities too, like, I found myself like not using some abilities where there was many opportunities to use them, and at the end, like, I started to use the fire, well, I call them the fire bombs, but like the Molotov cocktail. Dude, these things are so strong when used properly. You can free aim them too. They're a blast to use. Like, it's unfortunate that I can't share clips, because I have these sick clips of like jumping around and like throwing that Molotov midair, like as I'm like falling down like a ledge, and then the Molotov like lands like right on them, and I basically like escape. It's pretty cool. Like, there's some pretty epic moment like that. There's a lot to like about it. I still don't even know what half of these consumables do either. Like, I tried them in the courtyard, the ones that were available, but I still don't quite like know how to utilize them. Like, the one where we switch position with a player is funny sometimes. Like, you can switch position with a player capping one of these data point. It's pretty funny when you do that. I kind of like that. Consumables being powerful was a good decision. Yeah, for sure. I hope there's some character progression though. Like, I hope like you get some sort of hope you get some sort of what's it called? Agency over how you build your character and over like how your character is set up. Like, you know, I know we can't like allocate stats as we want, but I hope there's some sort of agency where you get to pick and flesh out your character, even though it's a set class. Would be nice if you could make it your own. The black side item nerfs other player jumping ability. Oh, that's interesting. Dude, I never took it because I didn't know what it did. This game I probably will enjoy playing more than watching. Normally ranked mode games I don't really like, but see about this game. Invasions will be fun to watch. Yeah, I'm excited for Invasions for sure. I think it's going to be Night Train Relic system. It could be cool if it's that. Is the auto tracking on the range weapon good? I think, honestly, I think it's in a good place. Like, you know, it's good to be critical about things, but I think it's also important to, you know, to realize, like, you know, maybe it's in a good place right now. Like, to me, like, the tracking for range attack felt very nice. The only thing that I would put an asterisk on is, like, maybe if you add latency, because, you know, I just want to put a little parenthesis here. Like, we know for sure, it was confirmed, 100% guaranteed, that the network test was against players of your region. And not just your region, in a lot of cases, it was players playing against each other in the same city. Like, the game was matchmaking people from the same city or the same state or the same area. It was very, very, like the matchmaking happened on a very, very regional and local scale, which gave us this impression that the connections were just so good. So, is that going to be like that in the main release at launch? I think so. But if you do 2v2 with a friend, let's say I do 2v2 with, I don't know, like, with Nash. I mean, he's not going to play, but let's say I would play with Nash. Well, Nash is in Europe. And so maybe Nash will get to play against people from NA, or I'll get to play with people from EU. So there's definitely not going to be, like, always, like, region-locked PvP there. Because if you want to be able to play with your friends from overseas, there's going to be something to give there. So I don't know how the range attacks will feel if we have actual latency, because we did not really experience much latency in this network test. Yeah, you tried the game on higher latency against Japanese. It definitely was rough to punish healing. Yes, that's pretty much what I think. Like, I've had a few players that were latent, but was not like a lot, so I don't really know how this is going to hold up. I mean, we're going to have to wait and see for that. The point system for most of the matches, your objective aren't the PvP. From what I understand, the invader will get their points by killing other players during prep phase. So I saw the videos, and about the more weapon for classes, it's indeed a riddle. I think more abilities would be more suitable than weapon variety in terms of hurting the balance in general. I think, like, the thing with weapons is, I think you can easily get away with, like, some weapons that play similarly, like, you know, like the difference between a straight sword and a curved sword is probably not a big deal, for instance. Speaking of that, FromSoft needs to have real region-based matchmaking in Duskblood, not what we had in every other From game where the option was Japan and then everywhere else. Oh, Frosty, it's confirmed. Like, the network test had areas divided in you know, in actual region, but, like, very specific. Like, for instance, if you were in SA in South America, you were only getting matched with people from South America. If you were in NA, you were only getting matched with US and Canada. So, and so on and so forth. So it was very, very tight. So I think we definitely have, like, some very tight, like, region-based matchmaking. Was there a Bloodborne-style eel parry in the network test? I don't know about eel parry. I don't know if the roar worked against ealing, but that roar was definitely very powerful, and it's basically the parry. Like, you can parry people attacking you. Is there eye armor in the game? So far, there was only Zork that had eye armor. And also, like, some abilities have eye armor as well. Like, the Senator, the Dinosaur Run also has eye armor. You mean someone parrying someone... Sorry, if you mean parrying someone healing for a crit, not that I noticed. Yeah, I haven't noticed anything like that either. Enoki don't know how to feel about the game at all. Depends on what comes in the full release. I think a lot of PvP purists feel like that because there's not enough PvP for the PvP crowd. I think that's, from what I've been hearing, that's what I've been gathering. Yarn Charge Attack has Hyper Armor too? Or are you tripping? You could be right. I haven't played a lot of Yon. I played like 1 or 2 matches. Yeah, and R2. Oh yeah, and guard counters. Yeah, guard counters have vibe armor. It's a good point. Man, I wish I could play more. Oh, guard counters have vibe armor on startup. It's an amazing change. I don't quite know like how you approach neutral against shields. Like, I have no idea, like, what's the play when someone is holding a shield against you? Like, what do you do? Did any one of you who played, like, figure that out? Like, how do you approach the shield? Is that I just attacked it, but it feels like attacking it. Did you jump R2? No, I did not, but... Like, the problem with shield is that they can parry you fairly easily if you attack it, and also if you attack the shield, they can guard counter you with hyper armor as well. Spam out shields with range until it breaks. Well, the thing is, like, shields, the purpose for a shield is sort of to deal with range, so if the counter to it is range, it doesn't really make sense. Maybe put that in the feedback? Yeah, I think so. Let's put that in overall gameplay. Okay, overall gameplay. One problem that I noticed was that there was not any counterplay against... I mean, I feel bad saying that because maybe there is one and I just don't know what it is. If there's anyone in chat that felt like they had a counter against shields, don't tell me like, you know, the dinosaur special for Senator, like something that every class can do. Nobody was really using shield against you, unfortunately. I really only saw it in the last session. Like, people were getting better as things went along and you could really feel it. Played against shield guy as Yon, you just spam projectile. Can't do much other than that. It's worth noting that each character's shield is different and has elemental weakness. But I think, like, if we're talking balance, like, every character needs to be able to deal with any other character's shield. Shield to have defense, because you don't want, like, the shield to be like a rock, paper, scissors. That's the thing. Check your sentence. What's wrong about it? The most fun part of the game was the last PvP phase where it was either a 1v1v1 or a 2v2. I wish there was a mode where we could skip the PvE and only do PvP. One problem that I noticed with that there was not any counterplay against someone holding a shield passively. Oro said that jumping attacks are parryable with the roar. He also said that they're even easier to parry, I think. Give everyone a grab. Like, see, like, I have not tried doing the roar. Like, if the roar breaks shields, you know, that would be good. If the roar could break shields too, like, that would fix the issue right away, because you could just roar someone who's just holding a shield. And the shield would basically have its main use case, which should be just to deal with the range stuff. But I've not tried it. I think we should mention it, even if I'm totally wrong here. Like, I'm just gonna take a chance, and because I've not tried it. Like, I've not tried it, but I'm just gonna take a chance and just say, like, the Roar ability should guard, break, shields instantly. Let's just say that. Can you strife around? No, it's like this. You know, the tracking is like other Souls game. Like you can't like strafe someone around their shield, and there's no backstab either. Because Roar can also deflect projectiles. Yeah. I don't think we want a grab like for every character. That would just, because the play there is just going to be to rush someone up and just grab them every time. Like it would change the dynamic too much, I think. But you know, I think it's worth noting. We're going to come back to that. Oh yeah, for Halbert. Okay, feedback regarding Albert. It was my favorite character. It was also the only good-looking character. Gameplay wise, what is there to say about Halberd? There you go. Gameplay wise, it was very fun to play. I really don't have much to say about Albert. Okay, Bloodhound Yan. I'll say unsatisfied because I think the dodge ability is a little too strong on Yan. I think they need to rework it a little bit. Like, Yan is probably one of the least skillful character because you get away with so much with the dodge. Okay, the dodge ability on Yan is too strong as it covers too much distance and makes him able to outrun other characters with that. Have you tried fire upgrades on Yan? It's gonna... Oh yeah, I think that's an important thing to mention for the gameplay. Also, the elemental infusions had too much build up. Like in general, like a lot of these infusions like made some of these characters like kind of obnoxious. You could kill someone in 4 hits. Or maybe like basically 2 neutral because it combos, so you basically only need to hit someone twice. I don't know how to put it. Elemental Infusion had too much build-up. Sometimes 2 hits. Actually. let's just say it allows to stun someone in 2 to 3 hits, because like Zork could actually stun someone in 2 hits. I think the problem is not poison. Let's say fire and lightning. That progression might change a lot, yeah, for sure. When you get max lightning weapon, yeah, when you get like max like lightning upgrade, like you just delete someone in like 2 hits. It's like what is there to do here? Okay, so the most fun part about the game was the last PvP phase, where it was either 1v1v1 or 2v2. I wish there was a mode where we could skip the PvE and only do the PvP. One problem that I noticed was that there was not any counterplay against someone holding a shield passively. Her ability should guard break shields instantly. Also, the fire and lightning elemental infusion had too much buildup and allowed to stun someone in 2 to 3 hits. Okay, I think that's good. Go back to dodgeability on Yon is too strong as it covers too much distance, makes it unable to outrun other characters unfairly. Okay, that's not right, that unfairly. That feels Reddit. Sniper Lila. I think I'm gonna say neutral. I know, like, people say it's the strongest one, but... The sniper is a bit too strong. She definitely needs... slower firing interval and a much longer reload time. Oops, firing. I don't know if that's written like that. Sniper is a bit too strong. She definitely needs slower firing interval and much lower reload time. That's what I think. Lila's main issue is that the clip size is too big. Should only be like 2 bullets per reload. Yeah, I could write that. Or make her magazine size... Oops. Should also have a smaller magazine size. I think we're gonna write unsatisfied just to make sure it gets the... I mean, I'm not unsatisfied though. Like, I don't think it's like outrageous. Honestly, I'm more bothered with the Yon dodge than I'm bothered with Layla Sniper, if I'm being totally honest. Probably because of the way I played, because I gang rush people. Like, I just rush people like crazy. Like, Yon is the only one that I cannot kill, like, by outplaying him. Like, he's the only one who can panic roll away from me, basically. Like, he's the light roller. Like, Yon is basically the light roller. I think performance will definitely be improved in the full game. I mean, seriously, all previews. Oh, also... She is ugly and needs a bit and would benefit from better looking skins. Also, she is ugly and would benefit from better looking skins. Dumb bitch. Bro. She had put makeup on her. You guys are so stupid, man. Give her makeup. Kitao mentioned in the live stream that he did that a lot of the run. Wait, Kitao did mention in the live stream he did that a lot of the run-based passive and upgrades were purposely overtuned in the network test for testing purposes. That's interesting. Sounds shallow. I'd remove that part. Also, she is ugly and would benefit from better looking skins. I don't think that's shallow. I think that's honest. For me, it's important for the characters to look good. Senator Samir, honestly, I'm very satisfied. I really like them. He is very ugly as well. There you go. Ugly, ugly, ugly. I mean, they need to know. I really like this character, but he could also benefit from better looking skins. He is very ugly as well. Tranlan neutral. I found her weapon to be ugly. To be a bit short. Zork. Let's say satisfied. Zork is also fun to play. Oops. But he could use he could use but there is an issue with when his weapon is upgraded with elemental fire or lightning damage. He can combo someone into can combo someone into an elemental stagger and kill a player from landing a single hit. He is visually challenged. It's also fun to play, but there is an issue when is but there is an issue. There's an issue with the balance of the character. More specifically, when his weapon is upgraded with elemental fire lightning damage, he can combo someone into an elemental stagger and kill a player from landing a single hit. Okay. The kin, Tomaturge Avester. Bro, I don't know the name of any of these. Which one is Tomaturge? Which one is this one? Guys, which one is Tomaturge? It's the Pyromancer? Oh yeah, this guy was very strong. I'll say unsatisfied. He carried bad players. Like he was doing... Like, oh... okay. He was harder to... He was often harder to deal with than the players. Can you shield the whole Gatling? Oh, she can? Okay, we should mention that. I don't think you should be able to just shield the Gatling. I think you should outrun it. Her Gatling ability should... does Gatling take 2T? No. Gatling ability should be able to break shields. Easily. He beat my ass? Yeah. That's, well, yes and no. It's that, like, when you were fighting, like, someone with a kin, like, some kins were harder to deal with than others. Like, that mage was probably, like, one of the more annoying kin to deal with, I found. Because this fire was, like, way more accurate and way more sustained, his fire attacks, than the other characters. Than the other kin. As he was constantly attacking Zork's passive is OP. What's Zork's passive? Dude, I don't even know any of the passives. I felt like he was a bit too powerful. Okay, Gunslinger Beatrice. Neutral. Honestly, I feel like all the kin were difficult to deal with. More than the players. Zork gets extra HP for every bite, so he can get tanky. Oh my god, I didn't know that. Dude, that's actually pretty broken. Like, getting HP for every bite? Extra HP? Okay, we need to mention that. That's too strong. No wonder they were so goddamn tanky. Either every character needs that, or Zork should have it removed. It steals your HP. Like, every character steals your HP, though. Also, having his max HP increase on each bite is simply too powerful. It's probably unsatisfied because there's still issues. Actually, fuck it. I'm actually satisfied. And this ability should be given to either every character or removed from Zork. I think every character should benefit from that. Okay, Gunslinger Beatrice was also hard to deal with. It was hard to deal with her sustained range pressure. baritone satisfied. I found him to be balanced. Like, sure, he has a grab and everything, but Undead Marlowe, very unsatisfied. He should not have the ability to respawn in the final phase after getting killed. Oops. I got scammed of a debt because of, or of a win because of that. I didn't know he could respawn. That's just so stupid. He's still the max HP, but if the person got their HP stolen, kills them back, then they get the HP back to the max or max HP remove. Yeah, but still, like he can become too tanky if you just like grab a bunch of players. Like it kind of creates like this infinite loop. Like Zork is way tankier than everyone else, like to the point where it's like Zork can win matches just by being completely brain dead. Should not have the ability to respawn in the finals phase after getting killed. Okay. Nia, sister of the Briar. Was she the one with... Okay, yeah, I know which one it is. This was the girl with sabers. Satisfied. She was powerful, but not too much. Black Wolf Moors, neutral. I think he could use a little bit more HP. Poor Wolf, not tanky enough. Projectile Kin was also a problem. Let's write unsatisfied. The gargoyle, oops. The gargoyle took a bit too long to dispose of in the final stage, as it is quite tanky and very powerful. Honestly, I felt like the Kin were carrying players, like really bad players were getting wins purely out of having like upgraded Kin. And here's the Unwise. Honestly, I'm satisfied. Found it to be balanced. Yeah, like he's powerful. Be powerful, but balanced. Like the strongest Kin or the most annoying one to deal with were especially the ones that were range attackers. Like you know, like the gunslinger is very powerful, and the mage very powerful as well. Like those two were very annoying to deal with. Like I got scammed. I think I got scammed out of my kills by Kin more than anything else. Like players were getting carried by them for sure. I don't hate it though. I reckon certain passive and certain blood skills are going to be swappable in some capacity in the live version. That's good. That's good. I think it's still worth mentioning, but that's really very good to know that. I wish we had an option for queuing the final round over and over, because we could have attained so much more info. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I fully agree with you there. I think we should write that in gameplay. I wish we had an option to queue for the final round. Or simply Um, an option for queuing. Oops. For queuing for the final phase, PvP phase. As it is the most fun part of the game. Oh, actually, I'll rewrite that. Okay, so the most fun part of the game was the last PvP phase where it was either 1v1v1 or 2v2. I wish there was a mode where we could skip the PvE and only do PvP, or simply an option for queuing for the final PvP phase. One problem that I noticed was that there was not any counterplay against someone holding a shield passively. The roar ability should guard rake shields instantly. Also, the fire and lightning elemental infusion had too much build-up and allowed to stun someone in 2 to 3 hits. In your opinion, last round should be elimination-based, not survival? No, definitely not. It would be impossible for good players to win if you didn't have one live. Yeah, so just answer the survey, man. Let's go back to where we were. Dusk Battle. Very fun. Did they mean, when they say Dusk Battles, do they mean PvP? A battle where Bloodsworn fight over virtue. Very fun. Okay. The PvP was the most fun part of the game by far. Surviving by earning virtue. I found the virtue grind to be a bit tedious. I'm putting a lot more extreme on this because I wanted to have a little bit more weight, but in reality, I'm pretty overall satisfied with the game in general. Like quite frankly, like my real feeling about the game are extremely positive. Like it's like these are really like nitpicks to try to elevate the game like to the more perfect state, really. Ritual sites. Very fun. The PvP fights around the ritual sites were very fun. Moonblood Bestowal. I have no idea what that is. Guys, what was the Moonblood Bestowal? It was the last phase? Oh, okay. It was the most fun part of the game. However, the 1v1v1 can sometimes be frustrating when you get unjustifiably justifiably targeted by both other players, or by the other two players. Oops. And their kin. Perhaps some sort of mechanic could be put in place man, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here. The 2v2 was even more fun, and is perfect. Oh, I know about what I need to say for the for the Moonblood bestowal. We need more cover for the maps. That's what we need. That's the main issue. The maps for the Moonblood bestowals did not have any cover or very little to protect yourself against multiple range attacks while while being busy fighting another person in melee range. So it was the most fun part of the game. However, the 1v1v1 can sometimes be frustrating when you get unjustifiably targeted by the two other players and their kin. The maps for the Moonblood bestowal did not have any cover or very little to protect yourself against multiple range attacks while being busy fighting another person in melee range. The Moonblood bestowal should really all have some sort of cover or some sort of structure to be able to play around multiple players targeting you. I think that's a good point. I'm very confident about the map part. Do you think there should be some sort of gulag, like killed comeback phase, where people get eliminated and compete with each other for the Dark Horse? I think that's a good idea. Like losers tournament. Yeah, that could be a good idea. Like you basically like 1v1 the other cold. So you could basically, dude, that's actually a great idea because like PvP players could get all the way to the final stage by like winning the gulag over and over. That's actually a brilliant idea. So like, let's say someone like Castle was like way better at PvP than the other guys, but didn't want to run around for virtue. Like he would be able to just do his thing, and then he would get cold, but he would win like all the gulag fights, and so he could still make it to the final round. That's a brilliant idea. Okay, I think we can put that in overall gameplay. Also, I'm gonna pretty much use your message. I think there should be some sort of gulag or old comeback phase where old players get to duel each other for the privilege of not getting cold. Or let's not put it that way. To survive the elimination. Yeah, so I think there should be some sort of gulag or cold comeback phase where cold players get to duel each other to survive the elimination. Some guy reached 350 virtue? That's crazy. I've never seen that. Dude, how the fuck do you get 350 virtue, though? That's crazy. And players have already, like, learned routes in such a short amount of time. Final round with 4 players in that case? I mean, they could just have the final phase, like, called 1 extra player and, like, you know... I'm pretty sure there's a way to make it still 1v1, but whether it's... I think 4 players in the final round honestly makes more sense than 3 players too, though. It was annihilating everyone at the ritual site with the blood thing. What's the blood thing? Oh, you choose blood over gold to get more virtue. Yeah. You have to frag out to get 150 or more. Yeah. By the way, does the blood crystal give you virtue for kills even if you're not at the ritual sites? Let's say that you kill someone in another part of the map, but you're on the... Like, you're on the blood crystal. No? Okay. Okay. It would be nice to have a dedicated dueling mode where we can play against other players in a 1v1 format without the kin. The vanilla mode. Frequency of player encounter. Few and fun. I wish we would get rewarded for killing other players outside of the ritual phase. At least get 1 virtue. Like, 1 virtue is not a lot. 1 virtue point. Battle against great foes. It was fun. The boss fights with everyone was fun, but I prefer the PvP. Such a simple mind. Battles against trespassers. Which one are trespassers again? The Dark Leopard. Oh. Never mind. Not confuse the two of them. This goes here. They were okay. Low One Row City. What the hell is that? Guys, what is Low Ren Row City? Is that the map? The map was very well designed and very fun to play in. Type okay instead of okay, you sound smarter. There you go, I'm more Reddit now. Dusk Toll. Very fun. It sometimes allowed for some PvP interaction, which were fun, but most players would just ring the bell and leave. Perhaps the bell should be activated like a ritual site to promote fighting over it. Okay, the Bloodsack Gala, I mean, I didn't really care. It's a nice change of pace. I don't know. Neutral. Crawling Sword Lion. This is the randomly occurring event where all players receive transmitter item which can use request fire from the Zeppelin. Not fun. There are actually, it was fun, but it was fun, but there was a bug where you could get hit by a Zeppelin. Not a Zeppelin, and end up stuck on the floor. While taking fire damage. Basically, like, if you could, sometimes you'd get hit by that and, like, your character would just be laying on the floor and you just stay there like forever and just burn. Basically like some sort of one-shot. Nearl Storm. This is the randomly occurring event where all the players are forcibly teleported to a distant location of the map. Not fun. Since you can teleport around the map at any time, this event did not make a lot of sense and felt more like a waste, like an annoyance. Okay. The star fragment, neutral. I did not notice the star fragment. Okay, House of Night training menu, very satisfied. The courtyard is a very nice addition, but it could be even better if you could invite a friend to do 1v1 duels. At your own pace. It's the training menu. It has nothing to do with the courtyard. Oh man. I think I'm gonna put it in the last part. Oops. Right here. Nope, not here. Here. I've heard players love random event where they lose control of their characters for longer than 5 seconds while taking continuous damage. It's a very popular gaming experience. I don't know if you're joking or not. It was... I'm not gonna comment on that. Okay, I'm satisfied with the UI. Very likely to purchase. Which video game device do you own? Still own a PS4. It's PS5 Digital Edition. Nintendo Switch 2, PC, handheld PC. How many games have you purchased in the last year? 1 to 3. I purchased Fate Keeper. I think that's the only game I purchased in the last year. How many hours do you spend playing video games each week? Right now, honestly, I mean, it's gonna be 20 or more hours with Duskblood, but right now it's more like 6 to 10. I think I'm gonna write 11 to 15 just for... I feel like basically in that casual... I mean, it really should be 20 hours or more, but... I'm gonna write 11 to 15 because that's the actual answer. Like the social media site that you follow from software. None of the above. I don't use social media. What is your age? Well, can't disclose that. It's gonna be for later. Okay, well. Let's double check everything. This is more like personal preference stuff. Okay, guys, anything we didn't mention that could be like good gameplay feedback? Oh yeah, the weapon loadout. There needs to be... Actually, we should write it in the last one. There needs to be more weapon variety for each character. And a lot of customization options. I know they announced that it's in the game, but it's always good to put it in there. Spawns need iframes? There's already iframes in the final phase when you spawn. Or just a little bit. So far, I think Albert's Kid is the most reliable for PvP. All others I have Caveat and Reactable. His Bloodblade and even his Laser Long Reach is got uses in PvP 1v1. Yeah, I agree with you. I absolutely agree. I think Albert is like the most well-rounded one. And in PvP, like he was... I think like, if you're talking about... I think like... Okay, let me rephrase that. In the future, with like skilled players, I think you're going to be able to leverage your skills the most with Halbert, because like you said, like he has the most tools. His machine gun is unavoidable. His Blood Blade is extremely versatile at punishing various situations. It can be a roll catch at range, or it can be a range punish if someone whiffs in any way, shape, or form, because it's very fast. So it's probably one of the best ability for PvP. A complaint of mine is the item menu sucks when you have a sigil item and they fill your inventory with trash and give you another stack of them. I have no idea. I've not really played around too much with the menu. Overall, the PvP is the most fun part of the game. And I wish we could have a dedicated dueling mode. If you have a full inventory of items and pick a consumable from boss reward, it just disappears. Wow, that's a problem. You should write it in your survey, though. Also, more incentive to PvP from the very first round. Dedicated 2s, maybe? There's already dedicated 2v2s. Alright, let's double check everything. The most fun part of the game was the last PvP phase, where it was either a 1v1v1 or a 2v2. I wish there was a mode where we could skip the PvE and only do PvP, or simply an option for queuing for the final PvP phase. One problem that I noticed was that there was not any counterplay against someone holding a shield passively. The roar ability should guard break shields instantly. Also, the fire and lightning elemental infusions had too much build-up and allowed to stun someone in 2 to 3 hits. Also, I think there should be some sort of gulag or cold comeback phase where cold players get to duel each other to survive the elimination. A lot of these suggestions are yours, guys. Oh yeah, the frame rate. Good call. Also, it would be nice to have a lower resolution option that allows for 60 FPS. Let's just say, even though it might not reach 60, let's just say it would be nice to have a lower resolution option that allows for 60 steady 60 FPS. Just put that here. Use the Joy-Con grip or Pro Controller. I use the Pro Controller. That not allows, that targets 60 FPS. Targets a steady 60 FPS. Okay. Guys, if we're forgetting anything, feel free to mention it. After being tongue-in-cheek, it's actually a common game design, okay? I tried the handheld just for the VRR. It felt better than docked, but yeah, they need stable 60 for docked at least, yeah. Okay, what else is there? Wish there was a mode where we could skip the PvE, only play PvP. There's not enough PvP in the game. I also wish we could have a dedicated dueling mode, or have the ability to invite a friend for duels in the courtyard. I'm repeating myself everywhere, but I think it's a good thing, because if they it's a good thing because if they don't read these surveys individually and they just aggregate the answer, the more you mention it, the better, basically. Because let's say, for instance, that 10 PvP players play the game and they give feedback in different boxes. The ratio for that specific feedback in every single one of these different boxes is going to be different. So if you mention it every time, the ratio is going to be there's going to be a higher chance that the aggregate response will be shared. And when I say the aggregate response, I mean these are probably not going to be read by anyone, and the AI will read it and aggregate the common answers that are written there. That's why I'm not really too worried about how I phrase things, because ultimately, this is likely going to be read by an AI at the end of the day. I doubt they're going to go through all these surveys. Beautiful game. But the remembrance were a fun addition to the game, and I hope it's just fun addition. Let's stop here. The remembrances were a fun addition to the game, okay? Very balanced overall. The dodge ability on Yan is too strong as it covers too much distance. It makes him able to outrun other characters. Sniper Layla. Let's try it unsatisfied with these. Try unsatisfied with Zork as well. I'm just gonna... Because the... I mean, it sounds like I'm just picking my favorite characters if I say that, though. Let's put, let's put satisfied. I mean, I like Zork. Let's just double check what we wrote there. For Sniper Lila, the sniper is a bit too strong. She definitely needs slower firing interval and a much longer reload time. She could also have a smaller magazine size. Also, she is ugly and would benefit from better looking skins. Her Gatling ability should be able to break shields easily, however. Gatling ability should be buffed in order to be able to break shields easily. Make sure to ask for a barefoot skin or Dranglang and emote to show it off. That's how you get Miyazaki to read the feedback. You know what? I'm gonna do something like that. But her feet could be bare. Bro, I can't write that. Come on, Miyazaki. We could use more barefoot skins. That is diabolical. Bro, it's funny, but I'm not gonna write that. Oh, man. Fuck me, dude. Okay, I'm gonna write it just for shits and giggles. Come on, Miyazaki, we could use more barefoot character skins. Like I'm seeing a pattern here. This game, Nintendo definitely wanted to attract their most popular online communities into this game. So Air Riders mode, Smash Bros. Elemental 2, in the end, probably have all the modes that those games do. I hope that's the case. Zork is fun to play, but there's an issue with the balance of the character. More specifically, when his weapon is upgraded with elemental fire or lightning damage, he can combo someone into an elemental stagger and kill a player from landing a single hit. Also, having his max HP increase on each bite is simply too powerful. And this ability should be given to either every character or removed from Zord. Yeah, I definitely believe that. Um, okay, so this is the feedback for the kin. I actually like, the kin and the whole like PvE loop. I think it's a nice addition, but I think I'm gonna upgrade these skins a little bit because I still like them at the end of the day. Except Marlowe that respawns. I really didn't like that. I'm gonna put satisfied on all these skin. Again, this is QA. They should go through it thoroughly. There is a chance AI goes through these. Don't you think it'll filter his response? Yeah, it's probably gonna be like come on Miyazaki for troll or something. You're right. We should not like you're right. We can't take that chance that it's gonna get filtered in any way, shape, or form. I mean, it's a Japanese studio. Like they're very like business-like. So we need to have it professional, you know. I think if it was a person reading it, they would find it funny, but just to be on the safe side. You got a survey timeout? Oh, dude, you know what? Thanks for mentioning that. I think I'm gonna I think I'm gonna open up a text document, and I'm gonna copy paste all these responses in there. That's very nice of you to mention that. Just gonna copy paste all these answers just in case we get that timeout. It might be a lifesaver here. Should be fairly quick to fill back since I pretty much yapped in every single feedback box. Yeah, dude. Could you imagine if we lost all this text that we wrote? That would be horrible. But I think we've been at this for we've been at this for like 2 hours. So if there's a timeout here, we're definitely timed out. Because it's been like 2 hours. Better to be on the safe side. Holy wall of text, though. There's so much text in this survey. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, there's no way someone is gonna go through all of this to read all these, all this feedback. There's just no way, man. Like, could you imagine, like, thousands of surveys like that? Like, I cannot imagine anyone would read that. It's just too much to read. Maybe they'll read the bug reports. But no way they're gonna read the surveys. It's definitely gonna get fed through an AI. There's no doubt. I'm gonna put myself a note for this one. Skip this. Holy wall of text, man. That's crazy. I didn't know we spent that much time, like, writing stuff. There's just so much. Dude, if we lost that... Dude, if we lost that, that would be so bad. Okay. They will just AI it? Yeah, they will. They will AI it, but, you know, if there's multiple people that mention, like, what they want for PvP in these surveys, the AI will basically pick it up, so I think it's important to mention. Give me one sec, guys. Okay, it didn't time out. The survey went through. Let me pull OBS. Alright. Thank you for filling the survey. Here are some tiny wallpapers that are not in the right format. They're for your phone. These are nice images. I'm probably going to use them for thumbnails, actually, that I think about it. What's the difference between the two formats? Probably going to keep these images for thumbnails. It's going to be useful. All right, guys. Well, we went through everything for the survey. We went through everything, and I'm following the channel since Dark Souls 3 tournaments. I was filling the survey for 1 hour. Then after you submit, it was all lost. You got so mad. Yeah, I believe it. Like, dude, like the wall of text, like I'm looking at it right now. There's like so much text. So if you filled the survey out like I did, like, would be hard to rewrite everything, rethink about everything, because you need to. And also, like, keep in mind, we did this survey with chat. Like, a lot of the suggestions that went in there are suggestions from you guys, so, you know, like, you can't think about everything by yourself, basically. Well, guys, do you guys have any, like, questions for me regarding the game? Like, you know, like, really anything regarding Duskblood? I'm open to, or if you want to chat about anything specifically Duskblood related. How's the PvP? It's very fun. The first game had weapon durability. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Compare it to Elden Ring? Well, I mean, it's completely different games. Like, Elden Ring is really more like a traditional, like, you build your character type RPG. But if you're talking about, like, the gameplay specifically, like, the bosses play pretty much like Elden Ring. Like, the bosses are very similar. The enemies are basically, you know, basically the same as Elden Ring. Or, like, any Souls game for that matter. The PvP is a little bit different. There's way more things going on. The structure is very Night Rain. And for PvP, though, timing spacing is still relevant, but you get a lot more forward momentum, and the dynamic is a little bit different too. How would you balance the last round, the 1v1v1? I can't think of a good solution, honestly. Yeah, me either, to be quite honest. There, you could have a 1v1v1v1, like a 4 times, you know, 4 times different players against each other. That would promote like 2 1v1s, but you would probably still get a situation where after the first player dies, you know, it's someone's gonna get ganked, so I don't think that fixes it really. The only thing I can think of is if you have a timer, let's say a 5-minute timer, and the player that gets the most kills win, then it removes like passivity from the whole like 1v1v1, and it's going to be more chaotic, although it also favors the better players. And maybe that's not what they want. Maybe they want to give everyone a fighting chance. Yeah, the 1v1v1 makes it so pros have a chance to lose, basically. I believe because it's such a different project from their normal Souls game, they'll take the survey data with the same level of seriousness. Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure they're going to take it seriously. I just don't think they're going to read things individually. They're probably going to aggregate the response. You know how, like, you buy something on Amazon, and then, you know, if you look at the reviews, you get an AI that basically, like, aggregate the review and says, like, the more common points. They're going to do something similar here. I think 1v1v1 rank could be abused if 2 friends queue up at the same time. Having communication will most likely end up in the final match. The random guy is doomed. That's what you did today? Wow. So dishonest. Huddled Venus. Thank you so much for the resub for 2 years, bro. Welcome back, man. If I wanted PvE, I'd go Night Rain. Yeah, that's a very good point. Like, I mean, this game and Night Rain are very similar. So people that say, like, that they want this game to be more like Night Rain, I don't think it's a fair point. I really don't think so. Because ultimately, like, they're both, like, very similar structure-wise. It's just that this one has a focus on PvP and Night Rain doesn't have it all together. Which, quite frankly, I think is the right thing to do. Like, Night Rain just did not have the structure to really have any sort of PvP, so it should not have had PvP. On the other hand, Duskblood should have more PvP because clearly the structure is built around it. And I do hope the rumored final co-op against Mega Boss is going to have some PvP elements too. I don't know, honestly. If you wanted PvE, you could play Elden Ring with internet turned off. Honestly, Duskblood is basically Night Rain if you strip out the PvP. Maybe Duskblood, though, has a little more fleshed out universe, though. A little more fleshed out than Night Rain. But man, what a fun game, dude. For those of you who played it, oh my god, is Duskblood fun or is it fun? Like, seriously, I had such a good time with this game. I don't remember when was the last time that I enjoyed myself like that playing a video game. And, you know, I started to think that gaming was not for me anymore. Like, that thought was starting to creep up in my mind because I just didn't like a lot of the games I've played. And even the games I liked, like, for instance, I really enjoyed Faithkeeper. It was just a small indie game with very little content. And, you know, like, there's no, like, replayability there. It's just a fun, like, one-timer, basically. This is going to be one of those games where there's going to be like a long-standing relationship with the game. Let's put it that way. Even woke up at 6 a.m. on a Sunday to play it, bro. I did all the network tests. It was at a bunch of different hours for me, and I basically like scrambled to write script, record a vid, edit the vid, make the thumbnail, you know, eat, sleep, and then play the other network test. And honestly, like between some of these network tests, I slept like maybe 4 hours. Between one of them, I slept like actually the last time I slept 4 hours. The time before that, I slept 1 hour. I'm like hyper sleep deprived right now. It does not feel good. I feel like complete shit. Like after this stream, I'm gonna go take a shower, and it's not done for me. I'm probably gonna have to make a vid for tomorrow. It's like that. It's always a grind when the network tests come. I think we're gonna end it on that, guys. I think we pretty much touched on anything, unless you guys have something that you want to talk about regarding Duskblood. I hope they also add more content over time. They did it with Night Train a bit. Night Train didn't have enough content, I felt. I hope they have more in this than Night Train, because this game has a lot of potential, clearly. They said, oh, sorry, I'm yawning. Didn't they say the full game will have a special invader event for PvPers? Yes. I can't wait to try that. Hope this game gets a big roster of characters. Yeah, like 20 characters would be amazing. But that's a lot of work. You know, the game would need to be massively popular. I think like what's going to happen is they probably have a little bit in store for us. Probably have like one DLC planned. But I assume they're probably going to be like a little on watch to see like how well the game sells. If it sells well, they're going to make more content for it. That's what I think. You're probably not going to bother with it if it doesn't sell well. Dr. Death Defying 96, thanks for the raid and welcome in, guys. I was about to end though. We're talking about, we just filled out the Duskblood survey. Just finished filling out the survey, and we were just talking about the game. If you guys have anything to ask me about Duskblood, or if you have anything you want to talk about before I get off. 10 to 15 feels realistic. Well, the leak said 14 character, and Miyazaki said over 12, I think, or over 10. I think we can expect like 14 characters, something like that, at least. Still kind of resent at how little character customization in this multiplayer type of game, but it's in the name of balance. Well, I think we're gonna have more customization in the main game, but I agree with you. I do wish we had a little bit more agency on how we set up our character. Like basically, it's nice to make your own character a little unique, like pick a set of ability and so on and so forth, which I think that's what we're gonna have in the main game. I honestly can't wait for the full release. I really am looking forward to this. Surprisingly, like this was a blast, man. Can't wait to also play 2v2s with some of you guys. Like for those of you who have a Switch 2 and play Duskbloods, I mean, there ain't gonna be no one on PlayStation and no one on PC. Like we're all gonna be on the same platform, so I'm gonna be able to do you know, to queue for twos with people from chat. That should also be fun. Like everyone here is gonna get to play with each other. Like we can even have like community passwords and shit. You play Duskblood on PC? No. Switch 2 exclusive, man. Unfortunately, it is locked behind the Nintendo. You're already gaslighting yourself into getting a Switch 2? Elden Ring, I think you would like it. Not everyone would like it though. Like, you know, Nash didn't like it, Castle didn't like it, Gabri ultimately didn't like it. Like, a lot of the PvP dueling purists did not like it. So not everyone is gonna like this. It is different. There will be any duel mode in the game where you already where you're already in team with a teammate of yours from the beginning. Yes. Actually, in this network test, you could queue for 2v2s, and the final stage of, or the final phase, was you and a teammate, a random teammate in this case, against another person and their teammate. And this was a lot of fun. Like, obviously, a 2v2 is way more fair than a 1v1v1 because there's no way someone can get double teamed, right? So the 2v2 really made it so the odds were way more even. And in the final game, you're going to be able to queue for those with a friend, which, to be quite honest, for the ranked mode, I think this is what makes the most sense. Like, for ranked mode, I think you and a friend against another team or other teams, I think, is going to be the most fun. You ask Chase, he prefers Elden Ring. I definitely don't. How did you play? Connected the Switch 2 to the monitor? Yeah. You can plug a HDMI to the Switch 2. Loving this game. Zork is fucking broken. Dude, I liked all the characters, to be quite honest. I didn't find like anything completely outrageous. Like, to be totally fair, like the only thing that, you know, obviously, like, not everyone, like, you know, like, we only played this game for the few network tests we had, right? I played all of them. I got to win multiple matches with every single character. And so, you know, I got to play them all and get a feel for them all. And play against them all. And I never felt like I could not win against a specific class, no matter which one I was using. So that's a good thing. But I definitely, toward the end, I felt like some players, like not everyone, but some players were starting to get smart and started to play very passive with the shield, and it was extremely effective. And I found myself a little puzzled by how to counter passive turtling, like just holding the shield, because they could just parry you, and also they could guard counter you. So if you guys who've played have encountered this sort of situation and you actually know of a counter to shields, I'd be super curious to hear your thoughts on that, because from my understanding, shields were a little bit broken. I always felt like shields were supposed to be the sort of counterplay to range attacks, right? Like, you're supposed to have your shield up if someone's doing a range attack, like the sniper, for instance. Like, shield was supposed to be how you play, or how you counter the machine gun for Albert, and how you counter the sniper for Layla, and so on and so forth, and the gun from Zork. Like, that's what I felt. But in practice, the shield was just best in every single situation. Maybe a jump rush R2 you didn't try. The thing is, they can parry on reaction your jump R2s. Like, jump attacks are parryable according to Oro. So you get basically nothing that you can do against the shield. This could be a massive issue, but because we did not get any PvP dedicated mode, like, it was difficult. Like, it's difficult to test things when you're exposed to so little PvP, right? Like, let's say, for instance, that I was able to invite Gabri in the courtyard, right? Or during this network test, we would have figured all of that out in a matter of one session. Because the parry's a shout? Yeah, like, the parry is very strong and you can do it on reaction against a lot of stuff. and it could be a problem, but the shield is also a problem. It's like that's I don't want to say that it's definitely an issue. It's just that with the time I had with the game, it felt like an issue, but I could be missing something, you know what I mean? Like I don't think I've explored every option. Jump attacks are really reactable for parrying. Yes. Yeah, that's what it felt like. There's probably going to be need for adjustment there. Why is Zork said to be broken when all his abilities are little to no use in PvP? Well, his passive ability like grants him more HP when he eats someone. So in PvP, that's actually broken. And also Zork has an insane amount of defense and HP. And so he's way tankier than the others and does way more damage. So you can basically like brain dead tank your way to victory. Like I've lost one match to a really bad player just because like he had so much HP, like the dude had maxed out his run, so it compensated for the fact that he was very bad at the game. So, there's that. You're right though that Zork's abilities are not the best. His gun is very strong though. But like if you fully upgrade like Zork with some elemental damage, like we're talking about like fire or lightning, you can basically kill someone with a single hit, because what will happen is you'll land your hit and then that hit will combo into a follow-up, and because Zork's weapon is massive, he has more build-up than the other classes, and so your one-to-one combo is going to activate either the burn or the lightning, and then the lightning or burn stun is going to combo into 3 more shots, and that's enough to kill pretty much anyone. So Zork could basically kill someone if fully upgraded with only a single hit. That's why it was broken. But with that being said, I didn't really have trouble for the most part. How do you feel about the R1 true combo? I like it because everyone is comboing their attacks, right? Everyone is, every time they get a chance, they get that second R1 in there. But I think there's combos with, like, for instance, with Albert, like you could do like running R2 into the Bloodblade instead, so maybe you're gonna be able to do more damage out of that. And also, I know for myself, I staggered hits a lot, so I would not go for the R1, I would not go for the combo, and I would stagger an attack. So basically, let's say I would do a running R2, instead of following up with another R1, I would do another running R2 like right away with a little delay to be able to catch the guy panic rolling, basically. So I would be able to roll catch chain someone to death from landing a single hit and chaining it forever. That's how I got most of my kills, to be fair. I would just roll catch people to death. I'd put a tremendous amount of pressure and roll catch them to death. The only time it didn't work is people that were using the parry. Like the parry actually countered what I was doing fairly effortlessly. And the shield, like I had like maybe 2 or 3 players that used the shield like as turtling with the parry, and it was very, very difficult to work around. I'm not even sure like what you're supposed to be doing there. They're definitely going to patch it a lot, whether that be performance or other adjustment. It's a known thing for Nintendo Online games. They get a lot of patches down the line. Yeah, I'm not too worried, honestly, because this game is getting the PvP attention it deserves, finally. So, if the parry is broken, or if the shield is too strong or has no counterplay, I'm sure they're going to do something about it. Unfortunately, I'm not able to confidently say that it was broken in the network test, simply because the network test didn't allow us to just do PvP. Like, we were doing like these 20-30 minute sessions every time. So I didn't get to PvP as much as I would like to try all the things I wanted, even if I played all the sessions. So I think we're going to have to wait for the final game before, to get a better idea of what needs fixing, like what's broken, and so on and so forth. But yeah, that's where we stand, guys. Pretty fun stuff. You can't like free aim attacks to bait it and punish it. I think you get parried no matter which direction you're attacking. I think there would be a Coliseum mode. Maybe, I don't know. Bring back dead angling. Like, for instance, I would have liked to test, what if you do the roar, the parry roar, against someone holding a shield? Like, do you break that shield? Like, is the roar also used to break shields? Like, that would basically take care of the shield problem, right? And then maybe to balance the parries, like, you give it a, like, a window of punish, or you know, a little cooldown or something, because right now you can really spam the parry like quite a lot. So it probably needs a little cooldown. I mean, we will see. Like, the full game is gonna release in quite some time. They have not even given us a release date yet. So, oh, you tried it quite a few times, but it didn't break it. Okay, thanks, Tim, for that. At least we wrote it in the feedback, so there's that. Yeah, I wonder what's the play against shields, honestly. We will get it soon, G. What do you think? What do you think will be the date? Nintendo Direct soon? Oh, okay, you mean the date. We're gonna get the release date. Okay, not the game. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, so we're gonna get the release date in about 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, I feel that. In all fairness, you never know with FromSoft sometimes. Yeah, that's true. Like, we thought we were gonna get that Duskblood announcement like a few Nintendo Directs ago. Change the picture. There you go. That's the boss, right? October is the latest, you think? I think around the holidays. I say holidays, but when I say holidays, I'm always thinking like October, September, November, like around this period. Maybe the, you know. Any of these months, like the basically like the last 4 months are like holidays, or in my mind. I think the game is probably gonna release around that time frame. Hopefully, the sooner the better, right? The enemy designs are very nice. I mean, FromSoft is some really good artists, no doubt. I'm really hoping classes come with subclass kits with alt weapons. Like Albert could have a kit with that where you have a revolver and a dagger, or a blunderbuss and straight sword. Yes, I absolutely agree with you. I think we should be able to pick like different weapons for, like, you know, like, I don't really see why like Halberd can't have, let's say, a straight sword instead of the curved sword. Like, you can change it for, you know, for a straight sword, you know, or something like that. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do that. Did any of you try testing unlocking Switch mid-fight to see if you could lag switch? I'm sure that shotgun is going to make a comeback for at least one character. I mean, I know like, well, some of the mobs had the shotgun in the forest area. I didn't like having to play 30 minutes of Settlers of Catan Kerbier ride to try the 3 to 5 minutes of From Souls PvP. I mean, a lot of people that PvP pretty much agree with you. Like, I think all PvPers want more dedicated PvP mode. I think that's been like a common theme for PvP guys. I know like my friends like Gabri, Castle, and Nash are straight up not interested in the game if it doesn't have like a dedicated dueling mode. Like, Castle found the kin very annoying, for instance. I still enjoyed the game. Like no matter how it turns out, like I still enjoyed it, and I will enjoy if it stays similar to what it is now. But in the best case scenario, I'd still like a some dedicated PvP mode where if you queue, let's say if you could queue for simply the final phase of the 1v1v1 like over and over again, that'd be so much fun. That'd be a lot of fun. Or queue for just the 2v2s. That'd be so much fun too. Like this sort of stuff would be great. And maybe, you know, maybe to balance things out, maybe you don't give players reward, right? For that mode. Maybe it's just purely like no reward. If you want like to progress your character, you play the 30-minute rounds. But if you want to play for your own fun, like you do these quicker matches. Oh right, Tarnished this is a thing, isn't it next week? Yeah, it's the 28th. I'm gonna be honest, I might not buy it. I might not buy Tarnished Edition, dude. Because now I'm just interested in Duskblood, so I might just pass up on Tarnished. I might just wait it out. Could you link a profile of that friend you're speaking of? What do you mean a profile? You mean like the type of people who did not enjoy the game? Is that what you're saying? Like the people who didn't enjoy the game are basically like duelists or PvP purists that mostly duels. Like my friends are basically like people that did mostly fight clubs and Souls games and really only duels and never really got into invasions. And these people didn't really enjoy the game, and they would get into the game if it had like more dueling focused things. But as it stands right now, like they're getting annoyed by having to go through these like long rounds. I don't feel that way, but I can perfectly understand how, you know, some players would feel like that. So like, you know, people that say that the main game is going to have like an invasion mode, I don't think it would really solve that problem for these players because they're really looking for that dueling format. But, you know, at the end of the day, I still feel like the game is very unique, and I think if they introduce other format or other modes, I think there needs to be an incentive to go back to the main mode, which is like the big rounds with the mix of everything. Like there needs to be like some progression that's exclusive to that. I definitely feel like that. Like that's important. Because you still want that main mode to be the bulk of the appeal. Doesn't feel like PvP contact is too decentralized in the early phases. Kind of boring and samey so far. Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone that likes PvP feels like the PvP is not a big enough portion of the game, for sure. Should add a sandbox where people do whatever they want on any map. That could be a solution. Even in phase 3, I would get like 1 to 3 kills at a site and just hide until it was over. Yeah, honestly, me too. Like, I didn't really get much more than 3 kills, and it's not because I was hiding. Like, it's just... Like, the maps are very big, and so... You know, you can't, like, just go in there and rush, like, when there's a massive battle with everyone fighting. Like, if you want to play intelligently, it's hard to get a lot of kills because you're never going to encounter, like, everyone separately. So if you're playing smart, it's going to be very hard to get, like, a lot of kills. Ideally, I think the PvP zone could be a little smaller, honestly. I think the PvP zone could be smaller because I had like one of the last games that I've played today. I basically did everything right throughout the whole run. And I ended up getting called at the, you know, at the phase 3. Even though I had captured 2 sites, I just could not find anyone. I had 2 sites captured and I could not find anyone. And I had a lot of points. I probably had like, you know, I think I had like about 86, I think, something like that. and I could not find anyone to kill. Everyone else was just I don't know where. And so I, you know, just lost this without really being able to do anything about it. So many games where the dipshits couldn't find the underground sites. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but it was not even the underground sites either. That could be a strategy to just hide. That's actually true. Dude, that's actually so true. Like, let's say you're ahead of other people. You just hide. They have no way of coming up or, like, of passing you. That's a very good point. Maybe they were smart and they did that on purpose. They were just hiding because they knew that they had the point lead and they did not even need to engage in the PvP. As long as they were in the zone, hiding somewhere, like, you were never going to find them. That's a very interesting point. Dude, a fight club with 8 players? That would be insane, dude. That'd be amazing. Wow, 8+ kill streak is quite a lot. I don't really think I had a lot of kill streak in this since I was constantly changing characters and changing modes. Like trying to spawn at different places, trying a bunch of different areas. I was experimenting for the most part. You know, mostly won, but I didn't really get any like significant kill streak. I don't think I lined up more than 2 wins, honestly. In these matches, it was like 2 win, 1 loss, 2 win, 1 loss for the most part. Sometimes like 2 losses in a row, and maybe even 3 when I tried the Train Lang. I really hated that character. Was not very good with it. It's the only character I struggled with. All the other characters were fairly, you know, played fairly the same. Who would have thought that the first implementation of 8-player limit was going to be on the Switch? Yeah, that's true. You tried to get a win with everyone, but Jan always came second and Tran third. Yeah, I'd say like I got multiple wins with everyone. Except I got 1 win with Jan simply because I only played like 1 or 2 match with him. I got my win and I moved on. Because I was just not really interested in playing him. Then the Donut Lady, it took a few tries to get the win. I just, you know, how I played is I mainly played melee, really. I just rushed people and roll caught them. And her weapons are short, so it was not very effective with her. Like with her, I think you have to play way more passive. Jan's projectile was definitely the hardest to use. Yeah, the fire surge was very weak, I felt. Like you needed to use that fire surge while jumping. Jan and Layla were your most wins. For me, I think, it was Albert because with Albert, I just played most games with Albert because it was my favorite character, but I found it easy to win with Albert, easy to win with Layla, easy to win with Vork or Zork, easy to win with the Senator as well. I was very dominant with Senator. The rapier was nasty, man. It did so much damage and it was so long and so fast and multiple hits. Oof. Bro, I destroyed people with that Senator. Zork was easy, just did a 1 and done. Yeah. Like, Zork was very, very, very strong for me too. Like, with Zork, what I would do is I would do running R2s with him. So I'd rush someone and do running R2, and then they'd get knocked off the floor, start another run, and wait for him to get up and do another running R2. And people would get destroyed by that. And I mean destroyed completely. It was not even close. Like, I destroyed people with Zork as well, just doing running R2s. That's all I did. Running R2s and mixing up the timing. Eventually, everyone panics. Super Sprint R1. I preferred the Super Sprint R2 though, because the Super Sprint R2, it was 2 hits. And so people that dodged the first one, they were getting hit by the follow-up more often than not. And they would get knocked off on their ass. And so you had time to start another run, like, and be point blank against them, and they would need to basically panic dodge. And you just start the chain over and over, and you really only needed to hit them like 2 or 3 times depending on their HP. Yes, Zork was very, very strong for sure. And the thing with him is that he was so tanky, man. Just so tanky. Best player you found was a senator named Wargrave who would just shield and try to GC or War, and then running R2. Wait, didn't get a single stock off of it, even though we actually got into a 1v1 due to a player disconnecting. Yeah, I had a similar type of encounter, not necessarily against a senator, but like maybe like the 2-3 players that I played against that I felt like were smarter. They used the shield a lot and the roar a lot. Like, basically, they played passive and reactive instead of engaging. And it was very hard to crack. Like, it felt like, it's not skillful to do that. Don't get me wrong. Like, it takes no effort to do what they were doing, but it felt like I did not know any way to counter that. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have any counterplay to holding the shield and just playing reactive with parries. I haven't gotten any Souls emotes since Dark Souls 3. Feel like this game deserves some. Yeah, I should probably make some before the game launch. Nine players in total? No? Yeah, you're right. With the extra invader, it's going to be 9 players. Yeah, you're right. Guys, are you excited for Duskblood? I think I'm gonna get off, guys. This was a really, really nice network test, man. Top 3 classes at the moment. I think Zork is in there. I think Layla is in there. And I'm hesitant between Senator and Albert for the top 3. I think Albert is, I think Albert has a case to be the strongest class. I know it might be a hot take, but he's just so good overall. Like, he has options against everything. Like, I think a good Albert player is going to be most dominant. Let's say the game stays like that, it's not going to be, but if you're talking about, like, let's say the highest skilled player, I think a Albert would be the strongest one. I think. Simply because of its kit. Like, Albert has the machine gun, which is unavoidable. And he has, like, the Blood Blade, which is extremely useful overall. And also, Albert can get a pretty big HP bar too. Not like Zork, but close. I had a game, like, it's so weird how the RNG of the game goes. I had one game where I had like 3 times the HP bar of what I usually do at like level 20 for the final phase. Like, I kid you not, I got staggered and bitten twice, and I was still alive and I killed the guy. How dumb is that? Like, the HP bar for Albert was so big that I got grabbed and bitten twice, and I was still standing. With a good amount of health still left, too. Like, sometimes I feel like the RNG sort of, like, skewed fights, like, quite a lot. Not to say that the guy deserved this grab, like, this was while getting 2v1, but still, that's pretty crazy. I wish I could show some of the footage. Like, it was so much fun. You were surviving crits with Zork for sure. Yeah, Zork for sure, no doubt. I don't think you usually got to level 20 at the end. I pretty much always was at level 20. It was not really hard to level to that amount, to be honest. In your opinion, Zork to the max HP increased after killing players, so long as they don't kill you back? Yeah. And Hyper Armor, Layla for long range, and Albert, since his kit have all niche for PvP, and Knight unreactable on proper use, unlike with others. His SMG is second or even with the best range option. I think I agree 100% with you, Zimmer. I think this is a very good summary of the best 3 classes. I'd still say that in the right hands, I think Albert is the most dangerous. Perhaps even more than Zork because of what you said, because the kit for Albert, if used properly, it just has more options than the others for PvP, I mean. Like, you know, let's be honest, the Zork rocket in a 1v1 situation is useless. Same with the missiles. Whereas Halbert Bloodblade has insanely strong use cases in any 1v1 situation. Of the SMG, it's Fan Daggers on crack. It's funny because that SMG is literally an asset flip from AC6. Like, it literally is. Like, it has, like, the same sound, the same tracking, the same visual effect. It's pretty funny. I like it, though. Did you win a 2v1 scenario? Dude, the last 2v2 match that I did, my teammate disconnected, and I was alone. Actually, my teammate disconnected at the very start, and I did the entire match, and I amassed enough point to get to the final round with no teammate. So I got to the 2v2 round by myself with no one else, and I actually won it by myself. I wish I could share that. I destroyed both of them, man. And how did I do it? I just gank rushed the shit out of one guy twice. That's what I did. Just moving around while just, like, ignoring one guy and just gang rushing the other one. I wish I could show that. I mean, it worked. Like, I'm telling you, though, like, as I think this really only works because no one really understands the game too much. Like, let's say, for instance, that these guys were more knowledgeable about the game. What if the guy just held his shield? Maybe I would not have been able to do anything, you know what I mean? I don't know. But, you know, every single one of us don't really have that much experience because we only had a limited amount of time with the network test. So either way, you know, we do it what we know. Alternatively, Zork might be insane in duos because of 2v2. Yeah, absolutely, because you know, Zork's ability are, like, especially the missiles are nasty in 2v2, I think. Because you don't need to have, like, a... they're very sneaky, and they're gonna hit their target against someone not looking. Like, Zork missile in 2v2 might be insane. And also, let's not forget the Rocket Man. Rocket Man is still gonna be useful in 2v2, but especially the missiles, they could be very... only have the word in French. Let me Google it real quick. I'm gonna Google it. It says sly, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Insidious. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe sly. I don't know. Doesn't feel like it's the right term, but missiles in PvP, I don't think they're sly, but oh well. Maybe next time, guys. What team you think could be the best one? Let's see here. Honestly, Devious. Maybe Devious. Honestly, 2 Zorks. I think 2 Zork is probably the best team combination because the play would basically to do what I've been doing. You gang rush one guy, but you have 2 Zorks gang rushing one guy. And so you have 2 Zorks gang rushing one guy, And why Zork? Because he does a ton of damage and he has a ton of HP. So you don't really mind getting hit in the process, you know? The only thing you have to be worried about when you have a strat like that is if the other player is a sniper, you know, you have to worry about the sniper. If the other player is a senator, you definitely don't have to worry about the dinosaur. Like, you can't, like, fully ignore other people. You still need to be wary of what's happening. Maximum Zorkin? Yeah. Alright, guys. I think that's gonna be it for me, though. It was fun. It was fun. I really liked it. That network test was great, man. It was a great time. How everyone knows all the characters? Because we played all the network tests. We got to try every single one of them. Our worry is that the meta will be to avoid fighting generally until the end. It's the same with Kirby Air Ride. I don't know. I was doing the opposite of meta and it was working out for me. I was just rushing as aggressively as humanly possible. Every chance I would get. I would rush people until they were dead. I would not let go the pressure either. And just roll catch them to death. In fact, it's as if I didn't even have a stamina bar. Alright, anyway guys, looking forward to Duskblood, looking forward to the full game. I hope you guys enjoyed your time with the network test for those of you who did. Anyway, I think man, I don't even know if I'm gonna have time to make a vid. It's like 5 a.m. I am so toast. I might have to go to sleep, like I'm just too tired. Alright, anyway guys. Take it easy, everyone, and hope you guys have a good rest of the night, good morning, evening, whatever it is for you guys out there. All right, guys, take it easy and catch you up next time. Take care, everyone. Actually, let's see if we can raid someone. Can we raid someone? The answer is no. There is no one to raid, actually. Alright, we're gonna pass up on the raid for tonight. Alright, guys, have a good night.